Hey everyone, it is Ed Gutowski. I am your online instructor, and what I wanted to do was to create a welcome video, just kind of welcome you to class, and then kind of talking about the books that we're going to use for class. The one thing you should know is I'm really super excited about this class. I think the readings are going to be a lot of fun, and they're going to be really, really engaging. And I know that there's been some transition as we've gone to having all our classes online. But a lot of these classes, a lot of the books I've used before, both on an online and on a ground class with great success. So I think this is going to be a really fun and engaging class. So the English 394 class, right? Basically what you get is you get kind of a combination of English college composition. You get the content, whereas the English 94, we can work on the structure and the grammar to really help improve your writing overall. It's going to take me a little bit of time to kind of figure out what we want to do with the English 94 portion of class, because I kind of need to assess your writing first off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of jump into the English 300 portion of class, and as I get a sense of how your writing is, then I'll know the direction that we want to take the English 94 part of class. So our class originally was scheduled to meet Monday, Wednesday. So basically how our class is going to work is you'll have to log in on Monday, and you'll have some assignments that are due by the end of the night, by midnight on Monday. Then you'll log in on Wednesday, and you'll have the whole day to get assignments done. Everything will be due by Wednesday. And sometimes I might make some exceptions to that, so you just want to check Canvas. But let me talk about the books for class. And the first book that we're going to look at is this book here. It's called Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. Now, I've been teaching this book, great success. Students love this book. There's a lot of fun things we can do with this book. And I think in many ways, Into the Wild kind of relates to the college experience, because what you basically have is a main character. He's in a similar position I find many of my college students are. He's going to university. He has all these questions about, why am I going to college? What do I want out of my education? What do I want out of life? And I think these are important questions that we all kind of struggle with. And as he graduates from college, he does something really bizarre. He basically sells all of his possessions, gets rid of all of his materials, and cuts off all contact from his family. And 6 months later, he walks into Alaska and tries to live off the land and dies of starvation. And the author of the book, Jon Krakauer, wanted to know what would motivate a kid that had everything going for him to go on such an adventure. So that's the first book we'll start out with. It's lots of fun. The next book we're going to look at is a book I haven't used in a while, and I'm really looking forward to returning to, called Tuesdays with Maury. And this book will be a lot of fun to get into. I think there's some really interesting ideas that go on with this book as well. And when I've taught it on a ground class, great success. So I'm looking forward to looking at that book. The last book we'll end is with a book called The Hate You Give. And this is a book that I used just last semester when we started to go into all our classes got switched onto online classes. And I think it's a really timely book because it deals with issues of racism in America. It deals with looks of police shootings. And I think it's really topical for what's going on in the world now. And I had such a positive feedback from it when I sort of ended my spring classes with that book, so I wanted to come back and look at some of those ideas. There's two other books that we're going to look at. We're going to look at the Siegel Reader Essays. There are a series of papers you'll write on the Siegel Reader Essays. The great thing about that book is most students really like the Siegel Reader Essays. It has been voted the best book that I've used in my class, and there's a bunch of sort of short stories, short articles that we'll read out. And then the last book we're going to look at is the Siegel Reader. This is the St. Martin's Handbook. And the St. Martin's Handbook I've been using throughout my teaching career. It's a great book because the first focus of our class, we're going to look at rhetoric and argument. And you'll notice that's the first thing we're going to do in week 1. And the St. Martin's Handbook is really accessible for students. I think it really helps them understand how rhetoric and argument works. And then it's also really good for the English 94 portion when we get to talking about focusing on writing overall. So I just wanted to let you know what books we're going to look at. Our class is going to be a lot of fun. whether it's looking at rhetoric and arguments, looking at Into the Wild, looking at issues of race and race in America. So I'm really excited, and I'll look forward to seeing how you write and seeing how our class begins after week 1.